Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, beautiful viewers. Today's second reading, we are going to be taking a look at the answer. I don't know what this means. All I know is I got a download and there is an answer for you. Maybe you've been racking your brain over something, looking for some sort of guidance in regards to, I don't know, your situation, whatever you're dealing with, but this is called the answer. So hopefully we find the answer to a question you've been asking. And yeah, let's get started. So there's 3 options to choose from. Now, please use your intuition because this is going to solely rely on how you connect to this reading and how you resonate. So please feel free to pause the video. I'll let the video run for a bit so you can lean in on the energy of these 3 stones. And I will put these stone options in the description box and in the pinned comment. For your first option, we have pile 1 or pick number 1. This stone, this rose quartz. Option number 2, I'm not quite sure what stone this is, but it is absolutely beautiful. And option number 3, I'm not sure what this stone is either. I should probably know. I've had it for quite some time. But feel free to pause the video and then select whichever stone you're energetically drawn to, and we will look into your answer. Very excited. I will see you at your pick. Hello, my beautiful. Pick number 1, you picked the rose quartz, and I can't wait to get into your reading. We are using the Citadel cards for your reading, and we are looking at the answer. I'm not sure what this is about. I did get a download from Spirit that there was an answer here for you. Maybe you're pondering a specific question. Maybe you're dealing with a circumstance and you're looking for an answer on how to proceed or how to move forward, or whatever the case may be. This is an answer that is supposed to help guide you in the right direction. So I'd like to thank Spirit for clear and concise message here for pile number 1 collective who chose this pile. Thank you so much, Spirit. Please protect me and pile 1 as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. And also I'd like to thank pile 1 for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. All right, so what is this answer all about? Pile number 1. Let's take a look. I haven't done a reading like this, so I'm not quite sure what this is about. Wow, okay. So I do feel like the ones that revealed themselves or maybe stuff that you're aware of, and the ones that are flipped over might be stuff you're not quite aware of or in the shadows or yet to be discovered. So in the top row here we have the Dancer with self-expression and strength. Now remember, these don't have to be taken literally, be taken figuratively or spiritually, however you're resonating with the message, but I will do my best to communicate the energy that I'm feeling. In the bottom row here, we have the Hunter with sure-footedness and predestination. And then we have the Musician with inspiration and gratitude. Now, it is interesting that we have the Dancer and the Musician. So, I'm not sure that I'm feeling another row just yet. But what I am getting is there is 2 parts here that need to be cohesive, I feel, because the Dancer normally dances to music, and music gets one to dance. So I feel like there is sort of a flow, a rhythm, maybe how we are engaging with another or in the situation to have cohesion or to expect a certain result, a certain reaction, a certain engagement, a certain level of participation, I guess, based on maybe our own action here. Or maybe we are waiting for the cue in order to take part in what we want to express ourselves, or to then be given the cue in order to free ourselves in some way. I'm getting a strong sense of freedom from both of these cards, although I do see the anchor, and the anchor, aside from, you know, being stability and anchoring yourself to something secure, I also feel like it could also be being weighed down or being, yeah, like held down or held back in some way. Now we have the hunter with the noose, and then we have these oak leaves and what are they called? Acorns. And the oak leaf is a symbol of strength, and the acorns, we generally gather these acorns, or at least animals, squirrels specifically, gather these acorns for a later date. They kind of culminate or gather. Sure-footedness and predestination. So possibly there's a situation here I feel like maybe you've been working on for quite some time. You've been trying to accumulate, be it information or a situation you've been working with, that I feel you've been maybe stuck in some way, or held back in some way, feeling like you can't really move or have the confidence yet, or awaiting something here to allow you the freedom to express yourself, or to allow you, I say allow, but I feel like there's more of a you knowing when you're in sync, or you, something to do with timing, so that if you are to act, or if you are to engage, it is at the right time. And also another message coming through is sometimes if we just start dancing and there's no music, we might appear foolish to some. So there is something I feel you're wanting to express yourself with, but I feel like maybe you're waiting on or working with the perfect timing here for you to know when to release yourself, or allow yourself the freedom to express yourself. It's kind of what I'm feeling. Well, let's reveal the ones we don't see and see what more comes up here. So we have the air, unseen potential, and hesitation. Now this was coming in reverse, but for this reading I wasn't going to read reversals. I'll just read energy here, and the energy is kind of coming through as a sort of like it is a hesitation, but I feel as though whatever hesitations were holding you back, or whatever was kind of getting in your way of second guessing here, I feel is going away, or at least there is now this, with the unseen potential, I think there's something here that's coming in or being offered to you that is allowing you now to confidently see things differently, in a way that no longer makes you hesitate. No longer, it kind of gives you permission in a way. There's permission here to do something, and I don't know why that keeps coming through as needing permission, or awaiting the cue, or it's like you are dependent on a secondary thing here to engage, or to kick it off in some way. And so I can sense why there's been hesitation in some way. And there's a result, or there's an end goal here, or something that is supposed to cohesively happen. But it's supposed to happen, I think, in a way that you're confident in how you act, how you move, how you engage. And yeah, there's been just a held backness here. And I do feel like it involves your situation or another person or a circumstance here. Okay, let's take a look. So because this was covered here, I feel you've been hesitating, but the unseen potential, I think, is something here. Again, we're talking about the unseen because these were coming face down, the unseen potential. It's like there's unseen potential here that is coming to light, or that you're going to hear. Specifically, we have the musician. It's like the timing sounds right, or you can engage in the timing in a way. It's about rhythm, I feel. Okay, we have the spy master with knowledge and distrust. Also, this one was coming in reverse, but this is an interesting energy I'm getting here, because usually when we're hesitant, it's because we might not fully trust the situation, or we might not have all the information available to us that allows us to have the confidence, right? Like if we don't know the steps to the dance, we might hesitate when we hear the music. How do we engage with the dance? We might hesitate. Yes, and for whatever reason, I feel like you're more the self-expression, waiting on the cue here of the musician in some way. But I feel like, because we are looking at the answer, the funny thing about this reading is we have the key, and to me the key is all about answers. It's all about solutions and finding a way, finding the answer to something that's closed or hidden, or some piece of knowledge that comes in that gives us the information we need in order to then have the confidence or the information in order for us to confidently move forward. And we see this hand open, and then the crow, and crow's all about messengers going between worlds, bringing messages and information forward. So I feel here there's a message of needing to listen. Being receptive right now is very important. Hands open, meaning we're receiving. We could receive something tangible here, or receive a message of sorts, but I feel like there's also a listening and needing to listen here to something that we're not quite hearing, that allows us to see something that we're not quite seeing. Okay, let's see pile one. This is turning out to be a very interesting reading. Well, we have the guide. Interesting that all the ones that are flipped over, we're all trying to come in the reverse here. With the guide, we have inheritance and correction, and look, a bell is ringing. So there's something about the right timing, and I truly believe that the right timing is going to be shown to you in a way that you're going to hear it, receive it. You're going to know without a shadow of a doubt. That's going to put an end to any of your hesitation here, and it's going to be ringing clear like a bell, like there's no mistaking this. Okay, and I'm also see here in the background all of this water flowing out like a waterfall, like an open gates here. And look, I didn't even notice. Oh my goodness, look at all these keys. You guys, this reading is so cute. So all these keys are falling down. It's like all of the pieces and all of the information that's been really held up, I feel very held up, very blocked, is coming forward all at once. And I feel like the all at once is very synchronistic, because the dance we have again. So all the information now is falling one by one by one, and it's like a flow of emotion, or an opening of the floodgates with the information now we need in order to be confident to move forward. Because yeah, I feel like there was an inability to receive, or an inability to be open to listening to some sort of message here. And when we shift the energy to be receptive, to really listen to something here, I feel like it allows us the confidence to not hesitate and to move in unison here with our self-expression. And it's interesting because the water is all about emotions, and that is a form of expression, self-expression. But I feel with the keys, it's allowing us to free ourselves, or it's providing the solution to an area where we felt stuck, where we felt limited, or we felt, yeah, just really held back, because the anchor is this heaviness. And maybe we felt we'd be heavy, or felt heavy, or felt like we'd be like, look at this noose. I don't know, like, did we feel we were going to be tied to something here which was limiting our freedom, and there was a need to of confidence. But I feel like pile one, you've been putting in the work here with all of these acorns, the gathering of the acorns, and the fact that we have the oak leaves, which again is the oak tree, a very sturdy, stable, strong tree that I feel is showing your level of commitment, dedication, and strength to gaining the confidence here. And with the sure-footedness, it's like having this confidence. And interesting that sure-footedness is going with the dancer, because it's really watching our steps when we dance, right? Being confident of where we're stepping here, especially anyone who's done ballroom dancing or line dancing or any sort of dancing, really. There's a sort of dance. So I feel like you might have been questioning if you know the steps to the dance here. Okay. But I feel like what Spirit is saying is, just like this musician plays and the dancer dances, it's out of a self-expression that comes very naturally, that there is no real need, I feel here. Maybe, okay, so I'm getting more information. Spirit is saying you might be taking something in a very literal way, like you need the answer, like the step book to the line dance, right? Now, take this as an analogy, please, for your situation. But maybe it's like, I will engage if I have the rule book A to Z on line dancing or ballroom dancing or whatever. I haven't done this dance before, or whatever this experience is. And I feel like what Spirit is saying here is that there is information that you could be receptive to, because you'll hear it and you'll feel it, like music. When you listen to music, you feel it, you hear it, but it's not really a piece of writing. It's more of a feeling you have here. And I feel like this naturally allows you to be in sync with something here and allow yourself to flow and engage here. And this actually is the answer, okay? Because you might be seeing this as needing, like I said, this concrete information, or one answer to this would solve your, I don't even want to say fear, but just your hesitation, or your hesitation, your distrust. You're not quite, and I feel like you distrust yourself, or you distrust the level of information you have in the situation. So you've been trying to rack this over and over in your mind, but you are going to be hearing, seeing, by engaging here, that the answer actually comes to you by being open and receptive, and allows for your self-expression. And once this happens, I feel like, yeah, everything kind of is in lockstep here with flowing absolutely perfect. And I do see here being like a marriage, a union, a cohesive coming together of you in a situation that can celebrate here. It's absolutely beautiful. Inheritance and correction. So I feel like this is a course correction in some way. So maybe you've been held back, or maybe you've been wanting to fix something in a situation that felt quite stuck, or maybe you wanted to gain some level of stability somewhere where you felt held back, or yeah, like there's seems to be something that threw you off course, and then made you second guess. But you definitely, like with this air, this crown, like you are being crowned, because I feel like you have the ability here within you to naturally flow in a way that is the answer, that is receptive, that can go with the flow, that can understand the rhythm of energy to express yourself, that is very welcoming. I feel like it's so welcoming that it allows you to fully release yourself. And with the bell, the saying, like the crystal clear, like a bell, or it's like ringing like a bell that's crystal clear. It's like, I feel like this adds a whole level of certainty, like beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like any distrust you had now becomes null. And that's probably why we were seeing that one in the reverse as well. And this being blocked and reversed, it's like the knowledge that we did not know was how much in sync and how much of the solution was within us with that first step or first key. So I don't think you guys realize how crucial the first step is here. And sometimes we literally have to take that key and turn it. And we might be hesitant. And we're still waiting. So I feel like there's still a missing piece here. Like, how do you know, for this first step? And the fact that, like I said, we have the crow, this is information. So there might still be some information here coming to you that you will know it's the timing, and then everything else kind of falls into place. But I'm not quite sure. So let's pull one of these just to see if we can get a little bit of guidance here from spirits in your situation. Pile number 1. Oh my goodness. Well, we have 3 cards coming out. We have the Divine Director, Intervention and Purpose. Divine intervention. Oh my goodness. Did I not say from another world? Okay, divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. So definitely guidance here from another world here that's allowing you to, well, it's intervening. So now it's going to give you that first step here, I feel. That first kick, if you will, to step forward from your hesitations. Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realms. Well, I know there was an energy here of distrust. I don't know why I can't say it. Distrust and hesitation. So we might be waiting on the truth. We might be waiting on hearing something. And downloads and understanding, I feel like for a lot of you guys, if you are receptive, if you're getting downloads, intuition, dreams, or seeing signs and synchronicities, this is coming from your spirit team. This is divine intervention, allowing you to see this information. Remember, I think it has a lot to do with hearing, okay? And it could very well be this reading. I don't know. You're going to hear something. Maybe you're going to see something. Maybe it's not this reading, but now you're in tune with something. But however it comes into you guys, beautiful people, I feel like this is the answer that allows you to take that step and then truth being revealed, because I do feel this then eliminates any sort of distrust and allows yourself to be crystal clear here on the truth. Crystal clear on the truth. And I do feel it has a lot to do with emotions being expressed, self-expression coming out, nothing being held back. And it does seem quite heavy and quite a lot at once, although I feel there is some, like I said, synchronicity here with the truth falling. Okay, and then we have Kali Ma, which is facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. How beautiful. So the facing fear could very well speak to this hesitation we feel and this distrust in ourselves. So know when you have the guidance from spirit, when it is time, feeling time to go, that you are secure here with the sure-footedness and with the predestination. I feel like you can see in your mind's eye where exactly you want to be, where you want to go. The only thing really holding you back or not allowing you to move or making you feel restricted in some way could be your fear, or not having the confidence to know the timing or the dance or to engage. But this is all being gifted to you. And I feel within you, because we are all part of the divine, you do have that purpose within you. You already know that dance. It's within you. And maybe you haven't been given the opportunity to allow yourself to dance this dance because maybe the right music hasn't been playing for you, beautiful pile number one. But I feel like the music is playing. Okay, and if you don't hear the music, it is definitely coming. And I feel it's going to free you from some sort of stuckness here. And I do feel it's going to take a lot of change here, because I'm getting the death card here from this skull. And the fact that we are seeing major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. I do feel like there's a part of you that is needing to leave behind any sort of old ways that would not naturally keep you behind. And look, we have more skulls here. So skulls, and in the tarot, the death card is all about spiritual transformation, leaving what no longer serves us in order to move on to what is new, what is abundant, and not engaging in anywhere that we've outgrown, that's no longer us, and facing our fears because it's unknown, because we haven't been there. We haven't done this dance. We haven't stepped forward here in this beautiful adventure. So I love this reading, pile number one. I wasn't sure what to see, and I hope this resonated for somebody, because I do feel this reading was meant for somebody out there, and I wish you guys the very best. I'll see you soon. Hello, my most gorgeous pile number two. This is your stone. It's beautiful. I got to be honest, when I first seen it, I didn't like it for some reason, but it's grown on me. I don't know what it is about it. It kind of almost felt like it was painted, but I don't know. Anyway, this is your stone, and I cannot wait to get into your reading, and I do love it. It is absolutely beautiful. Precious stone. Now, like I explained to pile one, I was hit with a download from Spirit that I was to provide an answer to somebody here. So I don't know what this answer is about. Maybe you're looking for an answer to a specific problem. Maybe you're stuck in a situation, or you want to have clarity about something here, and you're looking for some sort of answer solution. So we are using the Citadel cards solely, and then advice here from the Keepers of Light. But we're going to pull the Citadel here and see exactly what we see here in regards to the answer for you, pile number two. And I absolutely love pile number one. So let's see. I have not done this reading before, the style of reading, and it was quite interesting. So it might take us a bit to get to where we need to go. So please stick around, because we might hit the energy right away, or it might take me a bit depending on how clear this is. All right. So use your intuition, what you're going to see, feel, or hear during this reading, to confirm this is indeed your answer. Now I'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for beautiful pile number two. Thank you so much, Spirits. I am truly blessed. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number two and pile number two. Thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I am truly blessed. Wow, well, these cards aren't the easiest to shuffle, but we have made it. All right, so I am being called to cut the deck and knock the previous energies out. And again, all right, Spirit, let us find this answer. Your card right here. So we have the Sailor, New Influences, and Wanderlust. This one did not want to reveal itself. Okay. Let us see what we have. So this is interesting, because in pile number one, we had 3 cards revealed and the rest weren't, which I feel as though if they're revealed, it's something that you quite possibly know or has made itself surface to you, or something you're conscious of, and potentially the cards that aren't revealed might be in the subconscious somewhere, although I do believe I flipped this one, but it was very natural. So it could be you guys are in different sort of areas here in the timeline, but with the sailor and the new influences and the wanderlust, I feel like this is really talking about exploration. And because sailboat obviously is over water, we could be exploring new emotions. We can be exploring something that seems quite abundant. We have the two koi fish, so could certainly be a union between two people, a partnership, maybe you and another. Could be romantic, could be a business partner, could just be engaging with someone and exploring emotions here, or getting enlightened in some way. Okay, now new influences could be we have a new perspective. We're getting enlightened with information, maybe how to navigate something here. And maybe we've been a little blind. Maybe we've been blinded by the light, or maybe we've been engaged in a way here that with the wanderlust, maybe we've been engaged in a way here that we were just kind of being tossed through to and fro in some way. So what I'm picking up energetically, pile number 2, I feel like your situation for this pile could be quite clear. You could be in a situation here with somebody else, a partnership, okay? I don't know if it's romantic or not. Only you know this because this is a collective reading. But I feel as though you might have felt, yeah, like out of your depths, or just kind of going with the flow, not quite sure, but you're following some sort of something here. And it might have led you to you don't know where. I don't think you know where. And I feel like there is an energy, a different energy coming in that's giving you or hinting at you that maybe you need to do something or see something or go somewhere or take the reins, or there's something different here. I feel like you're being enlightened with, or you're trying to attain. And maybe it's how do I now navigate this, or what do I do now, or is this abundant for me, and that sort of thing. So let's look at the answers coming through from Spirit. There's a lot of energy. Sorry, sometimes energy, I have to dissipate the energy here. So you see my hands moving like crazy. Okay, but this energy, yeah, feels like there's a lot of push, pull, a lot of things kind of, yeah, like you just feel like you're kind of being tossed about maybe. Okay, so we have the scholar here with investigation and research. So we were talking about being enlightened, okay? And enlightened is when we have a piece of information suddenly, or we have an aha moment, an epiphany, or we have a period of pause where we can reflect, or we ask spirit, or we look within, and then we have some new insight. So however this insight came, right? Maybe something shifted, something happened, an incident, a situation changed, or we thought of something new, but there was I feel like your intuition is now needing you to connect to real world information, I feel, okay? Like there's something I think you're searching for in way of information or knowledge to help you navigate, or that can give you information as to what's the right thing you specifically are supposed to be doing in this situation that's going to be right, that's going to lead to abundance. And maybe you're not quite sure how to get this information. Like maybe this isn't information you just can't go out and get. This is information that, you know, maybe spirit is saying comes to you through intuition, but maybe you feel blocked because there's emotion. So what's emotional? What's intuition? What is right? What is logical? And maybe what is more riding on emotional here? So let's take a look. We have the witch with experimentation and rebellion. Okay, well, pile 1, I think spirits is giving a couple of messages here. If you have not allowed things, which I feel you have in a way, allowed things to kind of guide you in some way, but I feel like you might have allowed things to guide you, but I feel with rebellion, there was also a part of you that was not fully allowing yourself maybe to fully experiment. So there's this desire to experiment with a tinge. This is kind of like witch, right? When we put things in the cauldron, a tinge of this and a dabble of that. I feel like there was an experimentation going on with a little bit of rebellion here, which I feel was restricting maybe an experience here of sorts in some way. And it could very well be that your intuition wanted you to maybe, you know, with the rebellion here, is not fully allow your feelings to override you or take you somewhere. So maybe you had to work very closely with your boundaries or putting up sort of whatever you felt you needed to do here. But I keep getting thrown back to this intuition. The intuition being completely different than some knowledge. So you could very well be a very logical person here. And I feel like the universe might be showing you. In fact, I feel the universe has been showing you something here for you to experiment, for you to fully allow yourself to emerge, no holds bar, so to speak. And I feel like your intuition is telling you it's okay. But I feel as though you have not yet allowed yourself, because I do feel like you are still trying to figure something out here. Because for you, I think it's important for you to have some piece of information in a logical way. And sometimes emotions, not sometimes, almost all the time, emotions, there is sometimes no logical answer. It's just an emotion that doesn't come with logic. Logic is from the mind, emotions from the heart. And so I feel with the research and the experimentation, it's like you've been in a situation which has given you maybe a chance to explore, to experiment, to do some research in some way, but you still haven't found maybe what the answer you're looking for, hence maybe why you clicked on this video. This is very interesting. Okay, let's keep going and see if this starts to make some sense here. The catalyst. So we have radical changes and taking control. Okay, so this is kind of what I was feeling from this card here. Was that in a sea, right? The sailboat is kind of just kind of going along, and the enlightenment or the information that's now coming to us or we're needing in order to take control, in order for us to make a radical change, in order for us to get behind the wheel and go where we need to go. Because I feel like we no longer want to be tossed to and fro. Like we want to go in a certain direction. And maybe we've never navigated a sea like this. So it would stand to reason that you want your emotional book outlining exactly what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be going, how you're supposed to be navigating. But I feel like what Spirit is saying in this experience, this what they call an experiment, I feel like this situation has been put in front of you for exactly that. This is the catalyst, pile number 2. And the catalyst is that in which gives you an experience for you to make mistakes, for you to be able to let loose, for you to allow yourself to figure out, just like a scientist would, which is, also a scholar here. But they don't get to their, what is it? The scientist gets to some truth. What is the outcome of the experiment? I know there's a name for that. It's not coming to me, but the scientist doesn't get to the outcome here, the thesis or whatever it is of the scientific experiment, without trial and error and testing and doing whatever the scientist needs to do, which a lot at the beginning could be based on intuition and based on, past experiences of what has happened in past experiments. So I feel like you come into a situation where you don't really see an answer. You might feel like you have no control, but Spirit is saying you are in this situation that has been put in front of you to allow yourself to explore here this type of a situation, and to allow yourself to collaborate, to not feel like you're navigating alone. Because I feel like maybe the rebellion here is like you're hesitant in some aspect, or you're trying to figure things out alone. Meanwhile, I see 2 koi fish here, and I also see that there's 2 bees, bumblebees, which work together, bumblebees. You know, they work on the hive together, all about cooperation and working together to build something here. So, and here we see a sealed bottle. What does that say? I don't know. Sealed bottle, which could be communication that has yet not been communicated. And here we have 2 letters. Pile number 2, I don't know why, like intuitively, there's a lot coming through here. I feel like you haven't communicated something and you're held back in some way. And this is the rebellion side of maybe not wanting to fumble, or maybe wanting to know the right thing before we go, and so we know how to navigate. But we're not allowing ourselves to collaborate, to communicate a truth, to play in an environment that has been put in front of you for play specifically. And a sealed scroll. So a sealed scroll is yet to be revealed, a future mapping of what's to be revealed. A sealed bottle that's yet to be opened. Like, I feel like there is still a lot here that is unplayed with or unraveled in some way, because we are not certain of ourselves, or we're trying to get, like I said, some sort of concrete something or other before we allow ourselves to experiment, before we allow ourselves to make decisions, because we can make decisions and change them and course correct as we go through. And we could take control of situations here by being communicative and finding out answers, because we can know one thing, communicate it, and then whoever we're engaged with could communicate something else, which might change the answer, right? Just like the scientist, now the answer changes based on what we're witnessing, what we're seeing here as a result. So I feel like you're the one that's writing out this plan, so to speak. Like, it's not something that is already planned for you. There's this feather pen, the ink, writing it out. I feel like, yeah, you taking control, you writing the narrative of what this is as you go. Let's keep looking and see what else comes up. So we have the dancer. Interesting, this came up for pile 1, self-expression, strength. So the courage, I feel, to express oneself, to not hold back, to not wait until we're absolutely 100% certain in some knowledge before we communicate, because yeah, like we can't just jump from A to Z. It's like, in order to get there, we might have to start with A, and if we're inaccurate, then we find out what A is and we move to B, and so on and so forth. So I do feel like there is some self-expression that needs to be explored. And in order to do this, we need courage. We need to face any sort of fear we might have, because we don't know the dance. We're still learning the dance, so to speak. Okay, but the catalyst is all about somebody that sets us off on this journey, or something or a situation that now allows us to explore a different side of ourselves that might be very foreign to us. It might feel a little out of control, or yeah, very out of control, like we don't have control of a situation. But Spirit is saying you actually have a lot of control. You're the one writing the history here. All right, so the assassination, ruthlessness and conviction. Look at that. So your answer, pile number 2. This is actually quite beautiful. The assassination, I get, hits their target, okay? And we're seeing that intuition eye again coming through strong. Still alive, even though we see the skull here, the intuition is still alive. So there's lots coming in with this message. It's like, if we have to leave parts of us that no longer serve us, or if we have to change in drastic ways that don't serve us in this experiment, or this part of life, really, is what it is, because this is an experience for us that's going to change us in a way that it builds on our intuition, and it doesn't die. I feel like this experience, we get to build upon it and build upon it, and we continuously get to grow on it. But the assassination here, I don't feel it misses its mark. The assassination is a marksman that hits its target. Okay, it needs conviction. It needs to trust that it knows its own ability. So with ruthlessness and its conviction, I feel like you have an ability here that I feel you're not confident in, or you're refraining, you're rebelling, you're not quite engaging in a way that maybe you're able to do, because I feel like you want an answer, or you want something first before learning the ropes. Like we may fumble here. We might communicate something here that might need to be revised. We might have to make some corrections here, but I feel at the end of the day, the marksman doesn't miss his mark. And the bigger thing here is, where is this ship headed? You know, what's the main goal here? That's what I think you're heading towards with conviction. That's what I think you're going to attain here. So the answer is to allow yourself to explore, allow yourself to be led to communicate things here in a way that opens things up. And it could very well be written. If it allows you to express yourself better, write it out. Okay, I do feel there is a need to let it out and express yourself, which is going to take some courage, because it might be something, again, coming from within you, emotional, something maybe that you've not shared with anybody else here. But I feel it is absolutely beautiful. And I feel like there is an energy here of not having to be apologetic about it either with your ruthlessness. I feel as though this will allow you to transform in a way that you'll no longer see things in the same way you did after this. I do feel like you're being blessed with an opportunity to experience something life-changing for you, pile number 2. And it's in front of you, and it's time to allow yourself to engage and fumble if you must, or communicate gibberish if you must, in however you must do it. But the point is, just do it. Just do it. And I feel like with this intuition glowing, and it's very reminiscent of this sailboat in the background is glowing, this sort of starburst energy. It's like, use your intuition and what you already know in order to give you the information you need to navigate through, because that's all you really need. And I think you're actually more targeted and more experienced than what you think. Pile number 2. All right, so let us take a look at your keepers of the light. Just a little more information and advice from Spirit here and what you need to know regarding this answer. All right, pile number 2, we have Freya, phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. So we could certainly be starting a new cycle here, and so we don't know what we're going to explore. That would explain this death as well. So we might have to leave behind something that we've known. All right, and we might be seeing the sea as scary, but it could be an illusion here if we haven't really stepped foot fully into it, that we're seeing something that is overwhelming, or that we won't have control, or that we might lose control. But I feel like this card speaks about the illusions are revealed, and you're allowed to now release any sort of hesitations, any sort of energy here that was preventing you from allowing yourself to play game or explore. All right, this is a new phase for you guys. I do feel like it is a new life phase here with you guys, and that you're putting to bed an end cycle that I feel is not serving you anymore. So we have Sanat Kumara with light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. That's that intuition that kept coming through. Your internal light. You can guide yourself. I really feel like you can guide yourself. You don't need a rule book. The only rule book you're really needing is your intuition, and you're writing your story here. Yeah, follow that. Follow your intuition. That will be the guiding light. That's that assassination. I feel you're hitting your mark. White eagle, ancestor spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. So sometimes we talk about traumas that we've experienced or come into this world with. And it may be that we haven't been able to experience something, so we've shied away, or in the face of where we feel like we might lose control, or in the face of something that we might be carrying some trauma that prevents us from doing something or stepping forward or embracing an experience, because we're needing to heal something within ourselves, something maybe we've carried from past lives or from childhood or from our ancestors in a way. I feel like this is you clearing out these family wounds and connecting back to who you actually are. This is a beautiful, beautiful reading, pile number 2. I hope this resonated for you guys and gave you some answers, some guidance here. Yeah, I believe in you. I trust you can get there. It's more of, are you allowing yourself to play? I don't think it's do it once and that's it. I feel like the universe's answer here is telling you that you have a lot of room to get it wrong and try again, as long as you're open and communicating and revising and collaborating and not being rebellious or not shutting out, being able to work with others, allowing yourself to express and have courage to do so. You will reach your target, although you may feel like you are looking at something that might seem like you'd lose control in some way. And again, control is an illusion. So, you'll never fully have control. It is only an illusion that you do have control. So allow yourself to have some fun. Pile number 2, coming from this Virgo, that is a big thing. All right. Allow yourself to have fun, Linda, and allow yourself to have fun. Pile number 2. I love you guys very much. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 3. You picked this blue stone. Love, love, love it. And I absolutely love the readings we're getting today. So beautiful. We are looking at the answer. So I got a download from Spirit saying I had to do a second reading for today, and this is the answer. I don't know what the answer is. It sounded quite significant. So I do sense from the other 2 piles that this could certainly be an answer to a situation you might be contemplating, dealing with, maybe has you stuck, maybe you're kind of in your head about it, you're not quite sure how to proceed, or whatever this answer means to you. This is the answer Spirit's wanting to give to you guys. I am using the Citadel cards solely, which has been a very interesting reading that I have not done before, and it is a whole lot of intuition. So let us get into your reading. Pile number 3. Spirit, clear and concise message here for pile number 3 with the answer. What is this about for pile number 3? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. And pile 3, thank you so, so much for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy and the energy around you at this time. I am truly blessed and grateful. All right, so these kind of wanted to pop, and I'm going to turn them around. The Fate, the Musician, and we'll leave the one that wasn't popping, or flipping, revealing, whatever you want to call it. Clear and concise, Spirit, thank you so much. All right, I do feel this one. Okay, so I do feel for these readings, the ones that are kind of revealing themselves or made themselves revealed are doing so because I feel this is something maybe known to you, and the ones that are face down here, not revealed, might be something in the subconscious, maybe hasn't made itself present to you just yet, and might provide a little bit more insight here. But we have the Fate with accepting help and guidance. So it would stand to reason you click on this reading because maybe you're dealing with a situation in which you're needing some guidance, you're wanting some help. Help can come in many different ways. Help can come from others, help can come from the divine, help can come from just insight that we have within us that we didn't know we had, or just all of a sudden get enlightened about something. Now, I do feel intuitively with this Fate card, there is something of needing to cut something out. And there's also a need to get very precise, because when we thread the eye of the needle, we need to be very certain and precise. So there might be two things here going on. And I'm also picking up control in some way, like almost like a puppet with strings here. So intuitively, I feel like maybe you're feeling like you're at the mercy of someone's control, or like you have to kind of be controlled in a way, and there's something you want to cut out, or someone or a situation you're looking at releasing or cutting cords maybe to something you feel very attached to in some way, or releasing yourself from the control of someone in order for you to get to where you need to go, or get kind of more specific, more pointed, more yeah, like a goal of yours that I feel is your truth, or something you're needing, and not maybe a confusing situation that you have going on here where others might be involved, or trying to control an outcome of sorts. So, let's see. So this would be something I think would be revealed to you, or that you're well aware of. And musician came out in pile 1, which is interesting. And the dancer came out in pile 2 and 1. And the musician now is coming out in 1 and 3. So if you are drawn to 1, you might want to go see that. They could all 3 be connected. I don't know. Only you know. But musician could be taken literally here as, again, use your intuition for things that do connect with you, which is beautiful, this card. It says inspiration and gratitude. So with the musician card here, I mean, when you see music, it's all about lightheartedness, having fun, playful energy. You see the anchor, which is stability, okay? And it could also be being weighed down by something, which came up strong in pile 1, being held back, being restricted. And I do feel like if we are looking at someone puppeting us, or trying to control us, or we feeling corded to some energy, we might be feeling heavy and weighed down. I see 2 hands here as well, and 2 hands here as well. So I feel as though there is something here about you really being able to make something happen. You having the know-how here to make something happen. And I feel you know it because it's revealed. Is it you don't want to do it, or you are reluctant to do it, or you're not finding it within yourself to do what you know you need to do? Pile 3 could very well be what I'm picking up. I feel like there's something here that maybe you're needing to do, and it might be something you're not wanting to do. Okay, because obviously cutting cords could be painful, and sometimes we are connected energetically to things that might be positive or negative. But if there is a codependence in a way, in any form, and only you know how you're connected to energy here, it may be a challenge for us to do what we feel is right, or at least what we feel we need to do in order to get something. So maybe you feel like you don't mind. You don't mind being in that situation. I feel you do. But if you want to remain in sort of this controlled situation, or maybe you're the one doing the controlling, okay, I feel like what Spirit's really saying is you're wanting something outside of that has to come, this truth, this more precise thing that has to come, I feel, as a result of you cutting something out. So it's either this or that, and in order to have that, which is what you want, you have to cut something out. Yes, pile number 3. Now I'm getting it, I think. Only you know with this story. So I feel like pile number 3, I'm going to be very open here. You might not even know you're in a situation maybe where you have comfort, okay? And I called it codependency. You can call it what you want. Maybe you like it. Like I said, you like the comfort of knowing the next step, the flow, the comfort zone, the whatever you call here. Maybe you know your environment, you know the people you're dealing with. You're in control of it. Again, control an illusion, but you feel you're in control of yourself, your life, you're this, you're that. But I feel there's something else here. And in order to get that something else that I feel is what you want, There's a need to break yourself free or cut the cord to an existing thing here. All right, now, like I said, music is all about rhythm. It's lighthearted energy. Yes, we're going to have to see how this kind of fits into it and how the two hands, because I feel the hands are something we're able to do physically that's in our control. So I do feel like your answer, pile 3, without looking at these, is going to be something you're really capable of doing. Okay, whether you want to do it, I think, is going to be the answer of how do you get to that mindset, or how do you get to doing it. Because I feel like there is a liberation here and a freedom in this other thing. I don't think you're experiencing it in your existing. And you might feel like there's a freedom in control, or a freedom in knowing the dance, or knowing the ropes, so to speak, or knowing the controls, or knowing what's what. I think you feel there's a freedom here. But I feel you're drawn to something else here that is threatening this freedom. That might seem like a threat. And it might seem like a single thing here. So it's like it's a single thing, but we can attain all these other things, maybe, right? That might be significant to us. I feel like this is quite significant, but it's like, well, do we want to release or cut like all these things here for this? But I feel like this is the true freedom. I feel like what you're wanting to attain, or the answer here in some way, is this enjoyment, this ability to have expression, this ability to be free to do with one likes and enjoy it. So keep in mind, we have accepting help, guidance, inspiration, and gratitude. So let's take a look. We'll get some more from these cards. We have the walker, the unknown, a journey. The unknown, a journey. Okay, well, I think if we were to, again, cut ties here, or make the decision to release ourselves in some way for this, we'd have to be exploring the unknown. We'd have to be going on a journey here. And for those of you guys who are resonating and feeling held back and weighed by something, needing to cut the tie, wanting to, but not knowing how, I feel it is because you want to go into an unknown. Okay, so I'm getting two kind of camps here, if you will. The ones that are not quite ready to cut these ties and want something else, and they're deciding. And then there's the ones that feel held back and aren't quite sure how to break free towards this sort of a beautiful energy that I'm feeling. It is freedom now, because I do see the swallows, the birds, all about freedom. You see the sun rising here, you know, and it's coming out of the clouds, which is out of confusion, out of a state of uncertainty here. It's now certainty. It's now happiness. It's having the clarity. And I'm also getting having the knowledge inside of us that we're doing something that's true to us, that makes us feel free and liberated. Now I am seeing 3 birds and accepting help. So is this going to be accepting help from other people? I feel this is. I feel like there's other people involved here. There is something here that is requiring us to have the help of others in maybe making this cut. Because either which camp you fall into, I do feel as though this cut needs to happen, pile 3. And I think some of you guys are prepared and not sure how, and others of you guys don't want to. But I feel all of you guys want what is this needle here, which I'm seeing as representing a truth, your truth, the single truth of something here that liberates you and gives you a sense of joy, gives you a sense of freedom, gives you abundance here. And it's your sun, your happiness, your source, your contentment. So let's see, pile 3. We have the forgotten, missed opportunities, fear of failure. I have not seen this card. And we have somebody kind of floating, and it looks like they have this red, I don't know if they've been stabbed in the chest. It kind of looks like bloody marks on their chest here. And they're falling from the sky. The forgotten, missed opportunities, fear of failure. So, pile 3, I'm going to try keeping these stories kind of straight for you. If you're fearing cutting these ties, and you're fearing cutting cords energetically of something that feels comfortable to you, and you're not quite sure the results, but you're really knowing it's the best thing to do. The reason you're not doing this is because you might fear that if you cut this and you are free, that somehow this is, you're failing this part. Maybe you're failing this person, or you're failing this situation, or you're abandoning this in some way, okay? But I feel like that is not the truth. I feel like there is a need for you to understand that in order for you to get to your happiness, you cannot be weighed down or held back by other people and situations and circumstances. Okay, so maybe you needed to hear that again, although I don't know that that's going to convince you to do this, because I think we need more information. But I feel like for a lot of you guys with the missed opportunity, I feel like you might have had a chance to thread this needle or to cut this and you did not do it, or you tried and you couldn't, or you know that you're supposed to and you didn't. So you might have missed out on something here, and it's now you're looking at this like, what could have this have been? What could have I explored here? You know, so I feel like you're not wanting to be forgotten. I don't think you're forgetting about the situation or the circumstance. I feel like you're reviewing this, but there is a fear of failure. It's like, if I try again, okay, if I try again, or if I am now given a chance to make this decision, am I ready? Am I ready to do this? And you don't want to fail. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be, again, miss an opportunity, but you also don't want to try and then fail. So you're kind of between a rock and a hard place here. Let's see. So we have the aspirant with ambition, diligence, and setbacks. Pile number 3, you have been set back in a way. I do feel as though maybe time has gone by. Maybe there was a need for you to cut a tie or do something that was pushing you to act in a certain way. And I feel like now there's been a setback. So maybe you feel like your freedom or what you enjoy here is out of reach. But I don't feel it is out of reach. I feel like there is still a need to examine both things that I feel are counteracting each other here. Okay, for those of you guys who are wanting to still kind of maintain, I don't know, old cords in some way, like I said, some illusion of control. And then you're also wanting this new exploration, this new journey. But it's, like I said, it's one or the other, which it can't really be both here. And so your hands are open here and you're exploring which it is. And in the background, you see the sun, which I was explaining to you guys. The sun is absolute certainty and it is joy and contentment. So which one gives you this beautiful contentment, this beautiful joy, this source energy? And I do feel like it is your truth. So one of these is your truth, and one of these might be your comfort zone, or one of these might be making you feel safer, but isn't bringing the light, isn't bringing the joy, although the joy comes with an unknown, right? And we might have been hurt in the past, maybe not in this situation, but we might have had a similar opportunity where we thought we saw the sun, or we cut something off and we chased our truth and we fell from that experience. And now we're kind of stuck with that sort of an experience. So we cling on to some safety here. So the fate, I feel, is destiny. I feel this is Wheel of Fortune. I feel this is you being faced with a decision that you're having to make that I feel is very fated, pile 3. And you're needing to be open and receptive to this decision with clarity and certainty, but it has to be your truth of what makes you happy, what makes you feel good. And I do feel like there is a need to be open to getting guidance, because I feel like inside you might have experienced something that you've kept in. and you kept it in, so it just remained there. Because these two hands, again, we're seeing two hands, now we're seeing two hands, and I feel like you're really able to do something here about this. You're able to take it within your hands to cut whatever ties you know aren't leading you to the path of truth that you might be sticking to out of some comfort because you've been set back in the past. Yeah, pile number 3. So we have the waker with awareness and reflection. This is intuition, and we're seeing clouds again. I knew these clouds would be significant. I feel like you've been very confused. Your situation might have been very hard to see through, but I feel like your intuition knows. I think there is a seeing. You're now seeing clearly. I think the clouds are now, settling or removing or opening, and now you're seeing something. You're having awareness. And when we talk about reflection, that could be reflecting on the past, something that made us feel in a certain way. So therefore, we're now acting in a way because of what we've experienced. It might be subconscious. We might not even be aware that we're doing something here that is limiting us, that is holding us back, but it is a making of our own. Maybe we're doing it, right? Because with the hands, we're acting in a way, subconsciously or consciously, in a way that feels comfortable, but that's also limiting us, that's controlling us, or we're held back in a situation. So if, for those of you guys that want the freedom to cut this, I think Spirit is saying you already know, and the clouds are parting, which means you're getting more certain. The certainty is coming in with the sunlight. That's where you get clarity. And I feel like this time is coming where you're going to see the perfect time to cut those cords so that you can focus on your truth. And don't doubt yourself, because you have the ability to do this and to stay strong with it, even though the journey might be unknown. And for those of you guys who are thinking this might be more of a thing for you, I feel like you might be lying to yourself in a comfortable way, because I feel your intuition knows that this is out of pain of a past experience and a fear of failure, of potentially not knowing where you're stepping into and maybe experiencing the same sufferings. I think there is no shame in communicating here with people that love you, because I do feel like there are people that love you that can help you. And I really feel like you're able to be receptive at this time. And I think you're also, you're receptive by, receiving anything here that others are able to bring in. And some, I feel, are bringing in very good advice that you got to listen to and actually put your mind to it. And I feel like further clarity is going to come from communication. I think the smoke or the fog or the clouds or whatever uncertainty will start to dissipate more and more and more, and you'll start to get more clear with the awareness and certainty of what does bring you joy and happiness here, regardless of the setbacks. And it might take some precision in order for you to thread that needle, and this could be where you're fearing failure, or you fear maybe if you get it wrong in some way and you've cut your ties here, then what would happen? But I feel like you are allowing the what ifs to get in the way of something here that I feel is groundbreaking and life-changing for you. And I don't think it's a one try. I just think you have to be willing to open and be receptive here. And I feel like this also gives you an inspiration, so something to be open to what other people think and experience, because I do feel there is this around you that maybe you haven't been so engaged with, because I don't think there's people that are around you that are necessarily wanting to hold you back so much as maybe you're feeling held back in some way. And I think Spirit is coming through with this missed opportunities again, because I do feel like pile number 3, if we're limited here by controls of our environments and we aren't able to cut that, we may miss an opportunity here. Yeah. There's certainly an opportunity in front of you, pile number 3. Well, let's pull some advice here and get further information. So I do feel like maybe we still need a little bit more guidance here on how we can do this for pile number 3, Spirit. Can we get some more, please? This one. Those cards are popping out. This one. And this one here. All right, so we have Hilarion with divine healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So others coming through again. Yeah, so what's coming through, you know how when we receive help from others, in turn we're helping ourselves, and when others help us, they're also helping themselves. I feel like there is a need for you to allow yourself to be receptive to what others are engaging with here that will help you to free yourself from something. And all this green is heart chakra. I feel like there is healing that you are working on from an experience of something that didn't quite work out. Beautiful pile number 3, something that left you feeling hurt, something that left you feel like you maybe wouldn't want to try it again. But you don't have to limit yourself to an unhappy life or to a comfort zone here. I feel like there is a beautiful energy here that you intuitively know is calling out for you. You can see it. So we have Mercury. Yeah, open communication. Get a weight off your chest. Speak up with love and be heard. There is something here about you communicating. Pile number 3. I feel you've been holding it in. I feel like there's one, if not multiple people around you that are able to listen to you and guide you, or at least be receptive to what you're talking about here, so it can allow for some reflection and some clear awareness. Because I feel like you're a little bit clouded still, okay? And I feel it is getting more and more clear, but it's not going to clear itself. I feel like the clarity comes with the more you communicate, the more you're listening here to your environment, to what people are engaged with. But you have to open yourself up in a way here and accept the help of other people by being open and communicating something to get off your chest. So maybe there is this hurt here that needs to be spoken about, right? Do we need to talk to therapy about it? Do we want to talk to someone we trust? Do we want to just talk to ourselves about this? Maybe we've been, trying to ignore something that's hurt us or not think about something that's hurting us, but in a way it is hurting us still because it's restricting us in some way. Archangel Michael, trusting heaven, you are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. I do feel it is a miracle here. Pile number 3. I think you're being blessed here with a miracle, inspiration, gratitude, this unknown journey. I feel like it's a miracle in your life as well. And I feel like it could be very fearful with something so powerful here. Especially where we had this experience and a setback in a way. But Spirit wants you to be very open and receptive and to communicate a truth. Also being open and receptive intuitively to listen to what you already know inside. This will reveal truths. And I do feel like this sort of an indecision or a stalemate and not being able to do something because of something else. We have the power in our own hands to do this. We really do. And I think we need to keep end goal in sight and also allow ourselves to communicate so that that fog clears and that we get more certain and we can see the happiness, we could see the joy. We can have self-expression in a way that's truthful to us. Follow our truth. All right, pile number 3. This is a beautiful reading for you guys. I will leave this here for you guys. If you were drawn to any other pile, go check that out. If not, then I love you very much. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.